Republican Maine Senator Susan Collins joins ABC's George Stephanopoulos on Sunday's edition of This Week to discuss the news of the week, including the president's executive order deregulating certain health plans and Steve Bannon's speech at the Values Voters Summit about Bannon. She said, "Obviously, Mr. Bannon has the right to support whomever he wants to support. But I think his rhetoric is exactly what the American people are tired of. They don't want this hyper-partisanship. They want us to work together. And they want us to get things done. They want us to work across the aisle. They want us to work with the president. And Mr. Bannon's over-the-top rhetoric is not helpful. Mitch McConnell is the Senate Majority Leader. The president needs him. I'm glad they're working together on tax reform and a lot of other issues. And I'm glad they're meeting this week. Mr. Bannon's comments are not helpful in that regard." Transcript Collins. "Well, I'm very disappointed in the president's actions of this past week. The debate in Washington has been whether or not to repeal the Affordable Care Act in the future. What the president is doing is affecting people's access and the cost of healthcare right now. And I don't agree with his decision on the subsidies that help low-income people afford their deductibles and copays. And I don't agree with his executive order. But Congress needs to step in. And I hope that the president will take a look at what we're doing." Stephanopoulos. The president also pushing very hard for tax reform. "The first step in that will be Senate passing a budget. I know you hope to do that this week. Are you a yes on that budget?" Collins. "I am likely a yes on that budget. I very much want to see tax reform. As you know, George, we haven't had an overhaul of the tax code since 1986. I don't think there's a single American who thinks that the tax code is fair, or simple, or helps promote job creation, and that should be our goals." Stephanopoulos. "The question is, what kind of tax reform will the Senate end up voting on? Some of your colleagues have pointed out their concerns. Rand Paul says he can't support a bill that increases taxes on the middle class. Bob Corker says he can't support a bill that increases the deficit. What are your conditions?" Collins. "Well, I'm not saying that this is going to be easy, but I want to see us help our working families with tax relief. And doubling the standard deduction does just that. I want to see us help our small businesses. And I want to see us pursue policies that will encourage our larger corporations to create jobs in this country, not overseas. Those are some of my goals. And I think we can get there. There's bipartisan support for reforming the tax code. And I hope we can keep it a bipartisan effort.